talk a little bit about Lawrence Brown?
He didn't start right at the very beginning. There was a guy named Charlie Irvis and Tricky Sam. And I don't remember exactly. I'm not a great historian, I gotta be honest. I know what I know from experience, but I haven't hit the books. I'll be honest. And Lawrence came in probably sometime in the late 20s, I think. And he was there, I mean, really in and out through Duke's great deal of his career, right up until the late 60s. And Lawrence he was like a cello. The way he played was so smooth. And he played beautiful lead trombone, you know. And there's this one piece I love. It's on the Tone Parallel to Harlem. And he plays, there's this whole New Orleans funeral march. Let me do a little bit of that. And first part is Lawrence's solo, and then there's a duet, unison duet with he and Harry Carney on bass clarinet, the funeral march itself. I remember the first time I played this with Harry, and like, it literally was like put the horn to the mouth and move the slide and just let Harry pull me along. He phrased like, it was such a natural. Anyway. That's one of my favorite things of him playing. I mean, there's tons of stuff I don't really have memorized, like Rose of Rio Grande, Ducky Wucky, all these things that are just, again, very ebullient, but in his own style, you know. And he held that lead chair for many years. He came and went, I think in the 50s. Yeah, Britt Woodman came in the 52, I think, and Britt was like my musical father. I didn't play in the band, but we did stuff here at Lincoln Center actually together. Was me and Britt. Britt, like Tyree, was very ebullient too. Like you say, hey Britt, how you doing? Oh, lovely, lovely. How are you? He was like this. And Tyree Glenn actually wrote a song. Half of his songs he called them Tyree's tune until he had to publish them. Well, Duke tended to have sticky fingers somehow. So Tyree had left the band, and they'd been doing this Tyree's tune. So Duke renamed it Sultry Serenade, and I believe he got the publishing on it. So, yeah. So Tyree found out, and he renamed the song, How Could You Do a Thing Like That to Me? So here's that song. Britt played it, and Britt really made it his own. We played together so many times, you know, and he'd play first, I'd play second. And sometimes we'd be on a gig, you know, this was outside of Duke, so it's, you know, like in the 80s. No, I'm sorry, what is it? It must have been like, yeah, 90s. We did a show together actually in the 70s called Duke Ellington's Sophisticated Ladies. And somehow I got put on first, which was kind of embarrassing almost. Britt had a big feature, you know, it's cool. Britt was such a cool guy, it didn't bother him at all. And so we'd do gigs outside of there, and you know, Britt always played lead. And once in a while the band leader would say, well, you guys sit wherever you want. And Britt would say, hey man, you play lead, man. You good lead, man. You good lead, man. And I said, shut up, old man. You play lead. I want some more lessons while you're still around. And, you know, he'd always hand me a few parts, but he was just, I learned so much from that guy, you know, just how to phrase, how to carry yourself. It's interesting, I did an interview with him for this Charles Colin Brass Conference, and where we saluted him. And he was such a religious man that he could talk about himself, but with not an ounce of ego in there. He could say what he could do, and he did it. And he didn't like, look what I can do. Like, it wasn't like that at all. It was really pretty amazing. There's a great chart Duke did on Cottontail, and on the last bridge going out, the brass go ba-ba-da-da-ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, etc. And Britt would be playing lead on that, which is going to high C's and maybe D's. He'd play the whole thing up an octave, nail every single note, put his horn down and say, man, I really used to be able to do that. He said, shut up, man. You know, it was funny. I had so many experiences. It was like my father.
Yeah.
You know, it was like my musical father. It was just, and he knew, you know, it's like when you played with Duke, when you play with other people that play with Duke. I mean, Britt, I think one time in my whole time knowing him said, I'm going to play that note short or something, you know, like, we just played, especially when Buster was there, the three of us. God, I don't have any examples of Buster. I can't really, I mean, he's just really rambunctious, you know. Almost like yakety sax, you know, like, I haven't even tried to play like him. I probably could learn it, but it's just amazing. He's still playing. He's in his mid-80s now. Wow. You know?